Okay, so Celine, you're gonna go first, and then Brianna's gonna go after you.
I have to go first because my slide is submitted up right now. I can go.
Oh, no, okay.
I'll just say that my slide because I didn't want to be submitted on camera.
Oh, I got you. So I'm gonna say something quick on your numbers, just introducing it, and then after that, she'll come on, and then we'll start.
Okay.
Is there anything else to do with the video player thing that you opened up?
I need to get the link to the
Oh, gotcha.
YouTube stream. Oh, it's right here. Yes.
Close.
Office? Okay. Is your key out of there?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes. I don't know why I opened it, not like I'm gonna use it.
All right. Oh no. Nothing's coming up. Is it because we're not live?
We're not. I've got 2 viewers right now.
Oh no. It's not coming up.
They just slide it.
It's not coming
It says the videos aren't available. Huh? Does that look the same to you?
up. Yeah, that's it.
Maybe that's an I and not an L.
You know what? I think that's what it was.
Yep.
There it is.
Not me. Alright.
Okay. So.
Alright. Can you hear me well? Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our SGA Political Showcase hosted by The Signal. I know things look a little bit different, but we still want to give our candidates the platform they need to let students know how they will represent them in this upcoming school year. So while it won't be a debate, we will be asking candidates questions for them to give their truthful, honest answers, just to show how they will be represented next year. If any of you have questions that you would like to ask the candidates, please leave them in our live chat, and we will ask them at the end of each segment. So first, we will have the Atlanta speaker candidate, Queen Mufti Ramey and President Breonna Bailey candidate. And following that, we will have her speed round. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and we will proceed with the showcase.
If you, yeah, just put it on your lapel.
Oh.
Or your shirt, take a pic.
Oh, okay. Hello? Can you hear me? Oh, okay, cool.
So students will be voting for the next Speaker of the Senate for their respective campus this week, starting today. The Speaker directs his or her campus's SGA meetings, while that role is given to the university-wide president at university-wide meetings. On the Atlanta campus, students will have Queen Mufti Ramey on the ballot for Speaker of the Senate. Audience members, if you would like to ask a question, please leave a comment in our live chat. We will take 2 questions from our audience at home at the end of the Atlanta Speaker segment. Okay. Ms. Mufti Ramey,
Yes.
as an opening statement, you'll have 30 seconds to tell our audience at home why you are the perfect candidate for the position. You have the floor.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Queen Mufti Ramey, and I'm running for Atlanta Speaker of the Senate. I feel like I'm the best candidate for this position because of how outspoken I am, my involvement in the campus, and many things that I do on this campus.
Fantastic. You will have 1 minute to answer each of the following questions. Our first question for you, Ms. Mufti Ramey. In an interview with The Signal, you said one of your goals as Speaker of the Atlanta campus is to create a digital platform to increase student involvement. Could you elaborate on that plan?
Yes, I spoke to the digital advisor, and I basically was telling her that I wanted students to feel more involved and feel like Georgia State was a campus, because many people say that since Georgia State is so separated that they don't feel like it's an actual campus. So I wanted everyone's opinions on things to make everyone come together and for them to feel at home and feel like they're actually at a campus.
For the platform itself, the digital platform, would that be kind of a method of improving Panther involvement effort?
Yes, definitely. I said that I would send out text messages or emails just to drop suggestions from the students to see how they felt about certain things, and I wanted everyone to come together at the student center and actually utilize the student center more like we did before COVID. Okay.
Our next question for you. Often the task of sending student media orgs agendas ahead of meetings and minutes after falls on the speaker of that campus. How do you plan on continuing to work with student media groups on deadlines to effectively communicate and provide transparency?
Yes, first I will meet with all the groups to understand when certain deadlines are, and once I meet with those groups, I'll keep in my calendar, and I'll always set reminders for me to remind them to remember to come to this event or do this event.
Often, students without previous SGA experience enter the election to provide a fresh outside perspective. How do you plan to reassure students that you are the right person for the job without this past experience?
Actually, I do have past experience with SGA, just not at Georgia State. I've been in the SGA program all 4 years of high school, and I plan to reassure students by making my presence known, being in the student center, speaking to various students when I see them, introducing myself, and being well connected so they can feel that we are here to help them.
One role of the speaker is to ensure legislation is in order prior to meetings. What do you plan to do if the legislation has not been discussed and the senators are still not ready for a vote come meeting time?
I would try to rehearse on what was discussed the prior meeting and pass the information down to the rest of the Student Government Association and let them know that nothing has been passed on to my end, and maybe if I rehearse what was said at the last meeting, some ideas might pop up.
Just real quick, I'm going to check if we have any questions from our live audience. It doesn't appear. Well, maybe I'll give just a couple seconds just to see if anything comes through. And if anything does come through, then you'll have 30 seconds to respond to any questions. I will give that just a second. Recently, SGA held a major constitutional referendum. Can you explain possible changes that the referendum will have on the Atlanta campus?
I didn't see the referendum.
Yeah.
Can I get any highlights on that? I didn't see that.
So,
recently the city of Atlanta, there's many questions, okay. Recently the city of Atlanta has cracked down on the city's homelessness population.
Mm-hmm.
The previous 3 administrations have been strong advocated of the homeless population. Will you be continuing that tradition?
Yes, definitely. I do plan on doing food drives and giving out, special things. Like, for instance, in the winter, I do plan on getting like clothing and giving it out to them because I do see them a lot, and I'm always giving them money and stuff. So I think if we came together and gave them food and other necessity things that they need, I think that would be really good on our behalf as well.
I think that's good for the moment. So that was Clean with You.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Thank you. So next up, we will have the current Speaker of the Atlanta Senate, Breonna Bailey, who is running for SGA University-wide President. The candidate that students pick as their next president in the following weeks will become the face of the Georgia State student body. They will represent us on and off campus, all across campuses, and in front of university administration. Students will be choosing the person that represents what they want to see in the 2020-2021 school year, 2021-2022 school year, and who they believe will faithfully execute those duties. Our candidate for university-wide president is current Speaker of the Atlanta Senate, Breonna Bailey. Audience members, if you would like to ask a question, please leave a comment in our live chat. We will take 2 questions from our audience at home at the end of the university-wide president segment. Speaker Bailey, as an opening statement, you'll have 30 seconds to tell our audience at home why you are the perfect candidate for the position. You have the floor.
Hello everyone, my name is Breonna Bailey and I currently serve as Atlanta Campus Speaker of the Senate. I am the best candidate for this position because, one, I currently serve in the administration, the current administration, and there are things within the current administration that we were doing that's changing not only our organization, but the university as a whole. And I feel as though I'm able to continue those, and the connection that I have with the student body presently will help benefit the student body, the faculty and staff, and SGA.
You will have 1 minute to answer the following questions. Our first question for you, Speaker Bailey. One of your priorities is to increase safety, in which you mentioned broken police call boxes and other accommodations. What specific accommodations are you referring to, and how do you plan on specifically addressing safety on campus?
So, one of the major things that students on campus during this school year announced that police officers weren't coming to their calls as quickly or as efficiently as they should. They would have to wait hours or like an extensive long periods of time for them to come. And that's a really big safety issue given that this is Atlanta and young girls or men in general, everyone is just at risk at night. So one of the things that I wanted to work on is talking to the department myself and figuring out like what's the issue and why they aren't coming, why they aren't as present as they should. Maybe it's a cutback just because of COVID. Maybe it's just a COVID issue and they themselves are figuring out, or maybe it's something that, the university needs to work on as a whole. Maybe it's the budget. And so figuring out what the issue is within the department and then consulting with not only just SGA, but the student body to resolve the issue itself. So making sure that the problem isn't just solved by us, but the student body is aware and they have a voice in it as well. So we know not to just operate off of how we feel, but how they feel.
Our next question for you. As more students, faculty, and staff register to receive the vaccine, how do you plan to help alter the current view of Georgia State as a place that no longer needs a strong student presence on campus to prepare for the return of fall?
So I think COVID forcing everyone to alter their lives gave us a different perspective on how to run our lives in the university. So incorporating more technology features into how we run our everyday lives will make sure that even if you don't feel completely safe with being on campus, you can still feel as a part of the campus. So utilizing, Instagram Live as we are right now, and then still having the feature of if you want to come, you can come and see visually, with your own eyes or whatever the case may be. So making sure that everyone is still involved and no one is excluded, it will make sure that everything runs smoothly, efficiently, and effectively for everyone.
In an interview with The Signal, you mentioned that SGA plans to create one SGA for the perimeter campuses alongside one for the Atlanta campus. Last year, prior to the pandemic, SGA dealt with an increasing divide between Atlanta and perimeter representation. How will this plan bring the two together to work more efficiently?
So the plan is to make sure that perimeter students and perimeter SGA doesn't feel like a perimeter SGA or perimeter students. It's for everyone to feel as a collective. So restructuring how perimeter campuses operate so that there are one unit, because when it comes down to the university senate as a whole, it's you have a representative from perimeter and you have a representative from Atlanta, and it makes the platform even rather than having 32 Atlanta senators and only 5 perimeter senators, and then it seems like Atlanta is getting all the voice and perimeter is not. So the restructure is to make the platform even for everyone, so everyone's voice feels like they are heard, and make sure that everyone gets a chance to input their ideas and get the help.
A lack of engagement has impacted all students' organizations, including SGA. What solutions do you have to run effective university-wide meetings as students return for the fall? Will in-person attendance be required, or will meetings remain virtual?
Well, given university senate meetings normally have always run virtually and had the option of being in person, specifically for campus meetings, we haven't actually discussed what will happen next year, but since this year was really a trial and error, next year will be the actual put effort in. So I don't see us only having in-person meetings as a requirement, because the vaccine is new, everyone isn't on board with getting the vaccine, and everyone may not be able to get the vaccine come August. So it's not I personally don't feel like we can mandate everyone to come in person, especially if they don't feel comfortable, because this is still it's a comfortability situation. Classes, you have the option of choosing in person or online or blended. You still have that option, so I feel that we should give that option as well.
So we will now begin with our speed round. You'll be given the chance to answer the following questions in one word, or in as few words as possible. Answer, but don't explain your answer.
Okay.
How many SGA meetings have you attended in their entirety this semester?
All.
What has been your biggest accomplishment within SGA or for the student body this far?
Constitutional referendum.
What one quality is the most important for the SGA president to have?
Communication.
We will now turn to the questions from our audience. See if there's a lot in the chat. Okay. As previously discussed, SGA is increasingly becoming one Atlanta Senate and one perimeter campus Senate. Many argue this will continue to push the one school, two systems that the university has experienced since the consolidation. How can you ensure that both perimeter students and downtown students feel equal?
So one thing I wanted to focus on is accessibility, and one thing I stated that I wanted to make sure that is able to happen is to make sure that perimeter campus students are able to come to events that happen on Atlanta campus, because we are one university and the university events are held primarily on Atlanta campuses, but we don't designate transportation for perimeter students. They have to do it by themselves, so that isolates perimeter students from Atlanta. So I feel as though offering that is one way of bringing us all together. And like I said, like transforming the structure of SGA. Atlanta, although there's more people in Atlanta, we're able to designate certain people to help perimeter students, since that's a problem in itself, like trying to motivate more perimeter students to be involved. So we can designate Atlanta people to help perimeter students just because of the way that we restructured the organization.
And the second question, which I believe is going to be the last question. The current administration, especially President Thomas, has been quite active despite COVID. How will you continue that trend as we return to our campuses?
I will follow just in his footsteps, except I will implement the in-person factor that he wasn't actually able to implement this year. So I will be present online, and I will definitely be present on campus, and not just in Atlanta, but also the perimeter campuses as well.
Actually, I'll read this one last question because it kind of relates to the last. How can you ensure that each perimeter college campus feels heard in the new perimeter college senate?
So actually, the perimeter senate was a perimeter campus idea. So making sure that that actually happens is one way that I know that perimeter campus's voice is actually being heard, and not just, okay, yeah, maybe we can do that, and then go along and then push it off to the side. So that's why I want to make sure that that happens, so they know that we are actively trying to incorporate everyone and not just make them feel isolated.
I believe that is it. Thank you to our viewers at home for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you at the polls online through pin.gsu.edu from today, April 13th through the 15th, all day. Stay up to date on any ballot changes and election day results at georgiastatesignal.com. This concludes the political showcase for the 92nd SGA administration. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know that was kind of like quick, but you guys did really great.
You did.
So I really appreciate you guys coming in.
Yeah.